Good morning, members. First of all, I welcome you all in this today webinar on amendments in MSME sector and startup sector in this Union Budget 2024. So friends, this year, our Honorable Finance Minister, this Modi government 3.0 has taken the MSME and startup sector, a very important sector in the development of Indian economy. As we have seen in the past also, that our MSME sector in India is doing very well. So today, we have with us CA Dheeraj Kumar Khandelwal ji, the founder chairman of MSME and Startup Committee of ICI. He is serving since the inception of this committee, since last 4 years, as a chairman of MSME and Startup, and he has done wonders in this sector. And because of his contribution, our ICI has got many rewards and awards. India Book of Record has recognized the contribution of MSME Committee ICI. Asia Book of Record has recognized, and many more. And in the startup sector also, we have our ICI MSME and Startup Committee has organized 2 startup is fair last year. In the year 2023, our committee organized Startup is Fair at Mumbai Geo Center, BKC Mumbai, and more than 5,000 people attended that program, and that was most successful program. And this year also, in the month of June, last month, we have organized same Startup is Fair program at Bangalore. So I welcome CA Dheeraj Khandelwal ji. We also have a very renowned person in this MSME sector, CA Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji. He is a very popular person and very well connected in whole over India. And he is running MSME various program. And on social media, if you see, he is giving guidance and support to the MSME sector. So I welcome CA Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji. He will discuss what are the government's initiative in this budget towards MSME. I also welcome CA Manoj Lamba ji, a very young and dynamic chartered accountant. He is also expert in MSME and startup sector, and he is doing also many seminars, webinars. So friends, as we seen yesterday, this time our finance minister and government of India have an emphasis on the MSME sector for the GDP growth, for the employment, for the skill development, and many more things. So some little things I would like to share with you. Otherwise, in detail, our CA Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji and CA Manoj Lamba ji will discuss. First, that the Mudra loan given to small businessmen without any collateral security, amount has increased from 10 lakh to 20 lakh. So this is a very good step. They have doubled the amount of loan to be given to the people to start their business. The second, SIDBI. SIDBI is a very big support to the MSME sector, and our government of India has given a commitment that in this year only 24 new branches of SIDBI will be opened, and in the 3 years SIDBI will reach to the MSME so that they can get the financial support. Also, Government of India will support the food safety lab. Food safety lab is also a good initiative of the Government of India. And one more thing which government has proposed, e-commerce export. And e-commerce export will be PPP, public-private partnership model. By this way, our small vendors, MSME, they will get the support and they will be able to sell their goods through this e-commerce portal. And the main important thing which our finance minister has announced, that they will give 5 crore youth this employment generation opportunities, and top 500 companies will give the internship to the youth of India. Also, through this skill development, 20 lakh youth every year will be skilled in coming 5 years, and 1,000 new industry training institute will be opened. And in startup, the removal of angel tax. So these are the tips which I have learned since yesterday. So now I request my chairman, C. Dheeraj Khandelwal ji, to please give welcome address to this webinar.
Thank you, Raj Chavlaji. I think this is important budget for in terms of the MSME sectors. Have seen a lot of budgets from last 25 years, and every time budgets was very different. When I was reading the newspaper today, I was somewhere felt very bad. There was no mention in any newspaper about the MSME. Mukesh ji might be agree with me. In spite of giving a lot of good work for the MSME in this budget, but none of the newspaper has any one highlighted about the part of the benefits are there in the growth of the industries by the MSME and what the budget provision we made in this MSME. I was checking all the newspaper, morning, something can see something like for the MSME. I was very, felt bad and strange that, anyway, but the point that remained the fact is that the budget being finalized with the 10 priorities of the Viksit Bharat, and out of that, manufacturing sector was the priority, and MSME sector was priority, and that's why we thought let's have this particularly specifically budget analysis in terms of the MSME startup, and the Raj Chavlaji immediately rushed to the Mukesh Mohanji and requested time shifting, though we decided for 25th. Immediately he agreed to be part of this particular budget analysis part. He is veteran in the MSME. He immediately yesterday itself made out number of videos of one of the benefits of the MSME is running the MSME sectors. So he will definitely brief in the details about the sectors specific of the MSME and startup. Just wanted to highlight or some points to Mukesh Mohanji to keep highlighting on the part one is which I really like that the machinery part up to 100 crore rupees the government has given a structure where the unsecured loan or without any third party collateral loan can be provided for acquiring the machinery. I think this is a important aspect to set up the manufacturing part, because a lot of industrial coming and finding difficult, how to set up their plant and machinery, because sometimes they don't have the collateral. How do they going to find? Because becoming a very small, then becoming large, it's a wide gap. The government thought let's start your own immediately. If you have good idea, good working, you have the land, and you want to plant a machinery and working capital, you can take it from your own resources or with the term loan. I think this is given the example, government has set up this immediate part. Now, request Mukesh Mohanji highlight on that part, how this going to be effective and what the process are going to be. Because they said that you guarantee schemes. In that guarantee scheme, whether the CIDB going to take the lead on this part, because the CIDB is the nodal agencies, and wherein the city will take forward, how the loan can be granted up to 100 rupees, or all the banks going giving or whether CGT, MSME, they will giving the part, that's the same agency going to be give the guarantee. And it's what is the purpose of having an annual guarantee scheme, funding scheme. So that's what I wanted to understand from Mukesh Mohanji. He can throw some light on it.
Yes, sir.
Second
Yes, sir.
important aspect which I thought it about the exports. That lot of duties being reduced, so that a lot of other sectors going to be emerged, and how the financing going to be done. And they also set up some financing scheme and some board for the fisheries, manufacturing, shrimps manufacturing, and exports. So I wanted to, Mukesh Mohanji, to throw some highlight, because people are read this news on the newspaper or from the FM, but how this going to be operative, that's the important aspect. Another provision which I really like it for the MSME and exports, one is the setting up a e-commerce hub for the MSME sectors. So which is a welcome step, and how it's going to be operated, whether the state government going to be having a PPP models, or all chambers association going to have the PPP models, how they will acquire the e-commerce segment. So that's the important aspects, and which I feel this going to be game changer for the growth of the industries in the export MSME, because everyone can display their own product, and which is again going to be marketable things. This is a example. Definitely, gold is not comes under the MSME, is a consumption market, but leather and textile, which is a again boosting sector, which is announced by the government, that reduce of the BCP duty, which will lead to them, more export or more competitive in the world with the Vietnam and Sri Lanka. Both the Sri Lanka as well as the Vietnam, both under the free trade zone with the US government. So there's no duty, and that's why they are prospering. And keeping in that mind, I think the government has used the BCP duty. So let's see that how the R segment area can be a growth in this segment. Of course, solar energy will be a immediate task for each and every MSME segment. LEDs, solar projects. So a lot of area growth, prospect area for the MSME to work and start business in this particular area. I think another important aspect is that they provided a VC funds for the research and space economy. So anyone which going to be there, so there's a VC funds for 1,000 rupees, even protection and as well as the resource fund they announced of 100,000 crore rupees budget outlays he has made. So this is another a good step for the MSME and the startup. And a startup definitely important aspect which government has did about the angel tax removal. So I think this is one of the welcome steps for the startup. A lot of angel investors now will be freely invest in the venture fund or the startup, so that they will be free from the mind that government going to harass them and charge a lot of tax on this. So this is, I think, very welcome step in terms of the MSME, and I'm sure about it. Other provision which not might be declared in the budget speech, but maybe a lot of things are there in the blue fine print, and which Mukesh Mohanji will dealt on it all the MSME segments area. And one of the important aspect which I again emphasize on him, that how the industry can grow, how the financing things can be leveraged to them, which is important aspect to the all people. Please highlight. So thank you very much, all of you, to join over here. I think this is one of the I can say it's a important aspect which we are deliberating over here, because once we know this all provision for the related to the MSME and startup, I think the same thing can be uh, uh, transformed into the MSME, and we can guide. We are the advisory, we are the CXO services, we are the planners. So this way we can help to the all MSME, and the growth the which we planned in the budget Viksit Bharat, we can be partner in the Viksit Bharat. With this, thank you very much. Now I request Manoj Lambaji, who is our coordinator, and to take this a budget analysis part to be take forward. He is very eminent, one of the faculty also in the MSME. He's always available for the our institute. Very good friend of Raj Chavlaji and mine both. So request Manojji to take the proceeding forward.
Before that, I would request 1 minute only. Thank you, Chairman sir. Last night on India TV, Rajat Sharma ji has covered this MSME sector in a very well way.
Oh, very nice.
So he explained that this, as you mentioned, that there is no news in the newspaper. I have also seen this. But yesterday evening at 9 o'clock, Rajat Sharma has covered Aaj Ki Baat, this MSME sector, in a very well and very positive way. So over to Manoj Lambaji.
A very good morning to all the viewers. First of all, I thanks CA Dheeraj Khandelwal ji, Chairman MSME and Startup Committee, Vice Chairman CA Dr. Raj Chavla ji, for providing me an opportunity to be part of this very important webinar on Union Budget proposals with regard to MSME and startups. I also take this opportunity to introduce very eminent personality of the day, CA Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji. Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji is a chartered accountant by profession, having more than 30 years of experience in banking, finance, MSME, economy, law, accounting, and auditing. He has served on the board of Dena Bank as an independent director. He was also appointed on the board of one of the Tata Group company and other public sector undertaking by BIFR, Ministry of Finance, Government of India. He was also nominated as a member of National Board of MSME, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. He was invited by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, at his official residence to discuss the current economic situation and by way forward, especially for MSME in a small group. He also operates a YouTube channel and very famous on YouTube channel called MSME Helpline, wherein he has posted more than 625 videos on various schemes of MSME. The channel has a subscriber base of more than 1 million. He has hosted a positive talk with Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji show on G Business and covered many central cabinet minister, deputy governors RBI, and many CMDs, EDs of the bank. With these words, I present before you the eminent personality in this MSME era of Indian economy, Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji. Please, sir.
Thank you, Manoj ji. Thank you very much. And thank you, Shri Dheeraj Khandelwal ji and Shri Raj Chavla ji, for this opportunity. And I have no hesitation in accepting that I am learning a lot from Dheeraj ji, while be a part of MSME and Startup Committee. जो आपका जुनून है सर, वो मतलब I'm not able to match that dedication. But friends, today we will discuss the announcement by the Honorable Finance Minister yesterday during that budget speech. Before that, I would also like to accept that this government is very consultative government. I was also called by Honorable Finance Minister for a pre-budget consultation meeting in a group of about 10 to 12 people. And we gave various suggestions related to growth and support for this MSME and startup sector. And I am happy to share that most of the suggestions being given by us have already been accepted during this budget announcement. So though the budget has given 9 priorities, but since today's meeting is particularly for the announcement related to MSME, so I will stick to MSME sector and I'll not touch upon the taxation part of this. I have tried to divide my presentation in 4 parts. So in first, there are certain direct announcement for the MSME sector. Then there are various indirect benefits to MSME sector, which directly have not been told that these schemes or announcement are for MSME, but they will benefit the MSME sector in a big way. The third one, very important, is ease of doing business for the MSME sector. And the fourth is employment opportunity, which ultimately benefit the MSME sector. So if in the first part, if I'll discuss with the direct announcement for MSMEs, so the minister has said that special attention is given to MSME in manufacturing, particularly labor-intensive manufacturing. And this package which she has announced is covered financing, regulatory changes, technology support, and to help them grow and also compete globally. So the first scheme, which is particularly for the MSME sector and which my learned friend Dheeraj ji also asked me to discuss in detail, is the credit guarantee scheme for MSME in the manufacturing sector. I still have little doubts, which I will also discuss during this discussion. So the budget says that a credit guarantee scheme will be introduced for term loan to MSMEs for purchase of machinery and equipment, because now there is no difference in manufacturing and service sector. The definition is same. So she has particularly, specifically, I suppose, mentioned these 2 things, machinery and equipment. And it has been proposed that this loan will be without any collateral or third-party guarantee. So normally what happens, this CDT MSE, which is currently available to MSME sector up to the limit of 5 crore, is available in a mixed mode also, wherein some part can be covered under CDT MSC and some part can be secured by any collateral security or third-party guarantee. But here in this scheme, it has been told that it will be without collateral and without even any third-party guarantee. But the important thing is that here the loan amount has been defined as 100 crore rupees per applicant, per MSME. And it has been told that though the guarantee will be up to 100 crore, the loan amount may even be larger than 100 crore. So it has been very categorically told. Why I am confused on this issue about this 100 crore, because as per the definition of MSME, the investment in plant and machinery for the medium scale is maximum 50 crore rupees. So if the investment in plant and machinery is more than 50 crore, it will go out of the purview of definition of MSME. But here, they are not talking about working capital. If it would have been for the working capital also, I would have understood something. It will be for working capital, partly for plant and machinery and partly for working capital. But categorically, she had told that it is for the term loan to MSME for purchase of machinery and equipment. Whether they plan to change the definition of MSME or not, it's again a question. The important thing is that it will not be covered by any, perhaps what the proposal is, will by any government guarantee. Because the minister has told that it will be separately constituted self-financing guarantee fund. So meaning thereby, perhaps, which I could understand, that all the MSME will do a pooling of guarantee. Everybody will pay something as a guarantee fees. And if, so suppose 100 MSMEs or, so we have more than 6 crore MSMEs, suppose 1 crore MSME take the benefit of this thing, which still is very difficult, because if we see at the Udyam registration, more than 4 crore MSMEs are registered, but 98% are micro and small enterprises. So perhaps those MSMEs or micro and small enterprises will definitely be out of this thing. So let us wait for some more details on this. And it has been told that there will be a guarantee fees and at the initial stage, and then there will be annual guarantee on the reducing loan balance. So this is about how about Dheeraj sir, I could understand about this scheme. So there are some doubt. We will discuss with the ministry also, and we'll try to find out the confusion we have. Uh, and as far as your thing is concerned, that the media has not covered, sir, with due respect, though the newspaper, print media might have not, but yesterday itself, I was also on various TV channels, and they discussed only on MSME sector. I was on um, uh, Sunset TV, I was on G Business, and they exclusively discussed with me on the MSME sector. Then the second scheme being announced is new assessment model for MSME credit. This is very, very important. And we discussed this thing with the Honorable Finance Minister during this pre-budget consultation, and we suggested this thing in a very big way. So what happens, friends, you might have seen, being all the chartered accountants, and maybe some of you, maybe the MSMEs, what happens and what we have observed, that our balance sheet is normally not bankable. This is the biggest problem why we don't get the funding, and we always complain that we are MSME, we are not getting the finance. But the other fact is that our balance sheet normally is not bankable. Not bankable meaning thereby that the ratios which are required as per the bank loan policy are not there in our balance sheet. हम लोग प्रॉफिट ठीक तरह से दिखाते नहीं है, सो दी कैपिटल अच्छे से अपना इंट्रोड्यूस करते नहीं है. वी शो द अनसिक्योर्ड लोन फ्रॉम डायरेक्टर्स, पार्टनर्स. So our balance sheet normally is not bankable. That is the problem. Then what is the solution? So what we also suggested, that the solution is cash flow based funding than the balance sheet funding. Perhaps this announcement is related to this, that the public sector banks will now build their in-house capability to assess MSMEs for the credit. One more thing, we also suggested that credit rating is also hurting us a lot, because there are same score model for the large industry and the MSME as regard the external credit rating. And normally the MSMEs are not able to get the investable rating, which is BBB family. So this is again, और मैं तो हमेशा कहता हूँ मजाक में थोड़ा कि वो अमिताभ बच्चन का एक डायलॉग जो था कि जाओ पहले उसका सिग्नेचर लेकर आओ. तो व्हेन वी गो टू द बैंक एज एन MSME, तो द बैंक टेल अस इफ द लोन अमाउंट इज अबव अ थ्रेशोल्ड लिमिट, कि जाओ पहले क्रेडिट रेटिंग एजेंसी का सिग्नेचर लेकर आओ, उनसे पूछ कर आओ whether you are within the investable grade or not. So now the banks have been advised through this budget that now you need not to go for the external assessment. You do your own internal assessment, and there are various assessment model based on the scoring of digital footprint. So what are the digital footprints? So I feel now banks have every information of anybody, of any MSME, like they have the GST return detail. And normally all NBFCs and private sector banks are doing like this, because in GST, they take over username, password. They can get the information that what is the turnover, how the monthly growth is there, whether we are compliant as regards the payment of the GST and not. Then our income tax return shows everything about the profitability. No need to see our balance sheet. They take our bank account. And now there are various digital footprint, the digital medium by which they can, immediately, it may be n number of pages of our bank account, but immediately these software will give the report that, how many checks are dishonored, how many transactions are there, what is the credit submission in the bank, everything about the bank, whether we have issued check for some purpose other than the business purposes. So every information is available. Then the credit bureau reports are also there, which tells that, what is our payment behavior, repayment behavior in past. So I feel that there is no need for asking the balance sheet. And the Honorable Finance Minister has specifically mentioned, I will just quote, that she has told that banks will cover MSMEs without a formal accounting system. It's very important, meaning thereby that even if we don't have the accounting system, we'll be able to get the finance from the banking channel. Another problem being faced by the MSMEs is the special mention account. So normally, when anybody will say to anybody that you are very special, he will be very happy. Oh, I am special. But when anybody says that your account has turned into a special mention account, so samajh lo, it is an untouchable thing. Because normally what happens, even for a 0-day default delay or some other technical reason, the account can be classified as a special mention account, that is SMA. And then the ultimate result happens to be that account is supposed to be a NPA, most of the cases. Here, Finance Minister has announced that even the special mention account will be able to get finance, that too, a guarantee from a government promoted fund. So maybe they may create a separate guarantee fund for SMA accounts. And but we have to prove, being an MSME, that we have to prove that the reason for transferring the account to SMA by any bank is beyond our control, right? Another very important announcement is regarding the Mudra loan. Mudra loan is playing very important role as regards the employment generation also. So 10 lakh limit has been increased to 20 lakhs. But there is a catch that the entrepreneurs who have availed and successfully repaid previous loan under the Tarun category will only be able to get this 20 lakhs. Not that directly anybody goes to the bank and tell them that I want a Mudra loan, give me a 20 lakh rupees loan. That will not be possible. It will be only if you have taken the loan up to 10 lakh rupees under Tarun category, repaid it successfully, then you go to the bank and tell them that I need the additional 10 lakh rupees or additional 20 lakh rupees. TRADS is also playing very important role in the financing requirement of the MSMEs. And the threshold limit for onboarding of the buyers, CPSC, private companies, was 500 rupees. Currently also it is 500 crore rupees or more of turnover. Now this threshold limit has been increased for the buyers to 250 crore. And here we are also making a representation to the government. Maybe, Dheeraj sir, we can do it from the institute side also. As regards the trade, it's okay that they have reduced the turnover from 500 crore to 250 crore. But unless there are onboarding of all the CPSCs, PSUs and the private companies, and there are transactions through the trade platform, there is not much of benefit by reducing the threshold limit from 500 crore to 250 crore. So we should suggest to the government that it should be mandated for all the companies, all the CPSCs, and the government also who have the turnover of this 500 or 250 crore, whichever. And all the bills of the MSMEs should be mandatorily routed through this trade platform of these buyers. One more announcement has been done by the finance minister in this regard. Ministry name is Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, but I have seen that all schemes are only for micro and small enterprises. I have not been able to identify even a single scheme which is for the medium category. Now in this thread, the minister has told that medium enterprises will also be included in the scope of the supplier as an MSME. Sir, you were referring to the SIDBI also. SIDBI definitely is playing very important role. And they still are doing the direct financing, though it has been told in the budget that SIDBI will do the direct financing, but it's still doing the direct financing to the MSMEs also. But perhaps it is told that they will open more branches. 24 more branches will be opened by SIDBI, and there are about 242 clusters as on today in the country. So with these 24 more branches by the SIDBI, I suppose that about 168 clusters will be covered by SIDBI financing, and SIDBI has various schemes for the green energy also. They are working towards net zero, which is, I suppose, our vision of the country, vision of the not only country, the whole world. So they have various schemes regarding the green financing, the circular economy. Some schemes have been announced. With the support of SIDBI, by opening of more branches, I suppose the MSMEs will be able to get finance at affordable rate from these financial institutions. Then another announcement is that food irradiation quality and safety testing. So it has been told that financial support for setting of 50 multi-product food irradiation units in the MSME sector will be provided. This financial support will be provided to them. And they will plan to set up 100 food quality and food safety testing labs with the NABL accreditation. These two announcements have been made under this category. So you were talking about the e-commerce export hub, that it's very important. Yes, I agree with you. And this announcement says that to enable MSMEs and the artisans, for which there has already been announced a Vishwakarma scheme recently by the Honorable Prime Minister. But they are facing how to sell the product and how to sell the product in an e-commerce mode. Not only in India, but in international market also. So these export hubs will be set up for the MSMEs and the traditional artisan. And these will be created in public-private partnership mode. And this will facilitate trade and export-related services under one roof. One important thing I would like to mention here in this e-commerce export hub, that government has already announced a nice platform, which is ONDC. I suppose most of my friends will be aware of this open network for digital commerce. Though there is no mention in the budget for this, but this is also very, very important scheme of the government. And they are planning to develop it like UPI. So as UPI, there is no app in the name of UPI. There are Paytm, there is GPay, and so on and so forth. Likewise, ONDC itself doesn't have any app in its own name, but they have various sellers platform and buyers platform. Government is encouraging the ONDC, and by this, if some of you don't know, I'll happy to share that now any of the MSME can have their e-commerce website in 15 minutes without investing even a single rupee. This is a great support. So if there is any MSME, currently it is not available for the service sector. Maybe soon we can have this for the service sector also. So we all chartered accountant may also have our e-commerce website. And once it's an open network. So once any seller is registered on any of the sellers platform, he will be visible on all the platforms. Recently, the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises on the International MSME Day has announced another scheme in the name of wherein various incentives and subsidies have been announced for this e-commerce used by the MSMEs. Another important which may directly impact the MSMEs is the internship in top companies. The government has told that they will launch a comprehensive scheme. So the various details are yet to come for providing internship opportunity in 500 top companies. It will benefit 1 crore youth in the forthcoming 5 years. And internship allowance will be given to these interns at the rate of 5,000 rupees per month, along with a one-time assistance of rupees 6,000. This will be a great support to particularly maybe the MSMEs may also request for these type of services in addition to the 500 top companies. Then there is another very big problem being faced by the MSMEs. Suppose I want to start my MSME, my manufacturing unit or a service industry. Where to put that industry? Where is the land? And if I get a land somewhere, how can I bear the cost of the land? This issue are also discussed by me with the Honorable Finance Minister that there should be some scheme by the government to arrange land or the some space to these young entrepreneurs so that they can start their enterprise they can employ a lot of people, they can contribute in the GDP of the country. So government has come up with the industrial parks, and it has been informed that plug and play type of industrial parks with complete infrastructure will be created in around 10 cities. And this will be in partnership with the various states and private sector. But the problem is that suppose these parks will be created maybe in the outer part of the cities, from where will they get the workers? So they have the solution for this thing also. And it has been told that the rental housing with dormitory type accommodation for industrial workers will also be arranged by the government. So it's a great announcement that it will be done in PPP model. हम लोगों ने सबने सुना होगा कि वो हाट लग रहा है, मार्केट लग रहा है, ऑन वीक डेज देयर आर वेरियस, उसको क्या क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में, हाट बोलते हैं, मार्केट बोलते हैं. सो स्ट्रीट मार्केट के लिए द गवर्नमेंट हैज आल्सो अनाउंस ए स्कीम टू सपोर्ट ईच ईयर ओवर नेक्स्ट 5 years द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ 100 वीकली हाट्स और स्ट्रीट फूड हब्स इन सेलेक्ट सिटीज. So I suppose this is also, these all hart participants are also micro enterprises. So as I was referring to that, net zero and solar, these are very important part for MSME. So another scheme which has not been covered under MSME chapter by the Honorable Finance Minister, but I feel this is a direct benefit to the MSMEs. PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. So under this scheme, it has already been was already announced and already in working. So rooftop solar plants will be installed in 1 crore household, by which free electricity up to 300 units will be given to every household every month. The government has already received many applications. More than 1 crore applications have already been received. Registrations have been done, but I suppose MSMEs will get lot of business out of these solar rooftop, because lot of subsidies are also there for this PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. Another important announcement directly affecting the micro and small industries is that an investment grade energy audit of traditional micro and small industries in 60 clusters will be facilitated. So because most of the time these micro and small enterprises may be paying a lot of energy cost, so the government will arrange the energy audit, and financial support will also be provided for shifting them to cleaner form of energy and implementation of energy efficiency measure. So definitely it is going to be a big boost to the MSME sector, particularly micro and small enterprises, as far as the technology upgradation in this energy space is required. And after this 60 cluster, the government is planning to introduce it in another 100 clusters in the next phase, in the second phase. Then on the research and development also, the government is concerned, and research and development of small and modular nuclear reactor. So government has told, the finance minister had told that we'll partner with the private sector for setting up of Bharat small reactors, and research and development of Bharat small modular reactors. And number 3, research and development of newer technologies for nuclear energy. R&D funding will also be made available by the government for this technological research and development. Some indirect benefits which I feel are there, not directly told by the finance minister that these are for the MSME sector, but directly, indirectly, they will definitely assist the MSMEs. So many of you will be aware that, on infrastructure investment by central government to the tune of 11 crore, 11 lakhs, 111 crore of rupees has been earmarked for the capital expenditure. But dear friends, all these infrastructure will be done. Most of this will be done by the various contractors, and many items will be used by these contractors in these infrastructure projects, which are being manufactured by micro, small, and medium enterprise. And then there are private investment in infrastructure heading also there in the budget, wherein the government has said that investment in infrastructure by private sector will be promoted through viability gap funding. This will again help the MSME sector. Any infrastructure project definitely will support various contractors and various manufacturer of the products being manufactured by the micro and small and medium enterprises. So likewise, that Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana is there, and wherein the all-weather connectivity to 25,000 rural habitations which have become eligible in view of the population increase. So wherever there is an increase in the population, government is planning to build this all-weather connectivity, and they will do it for 25,000 rural area under this Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. The MSMEs definitely will play a very important role in this. In the tourism sector, if we'll see, most of the companies which are in the tourism are also from the MSME sector. And government has a vision to position India as a global tourist destination. This support by the government to the tourism department will definitely create job, investment, and it will unlock economic opportunities for the MSME sector. Then there is one priority by the government in this budget is innovation, research and development. Under this, the finance minister has told that we will operationalize the Anusandhan National Research Fund. It will do basic research and prototype development. So whenever we see the prototype development, so perhaps it is for the startups also. So they will do the prototype development, and the government is planning to set up a mechanism for spurring private sector driven research and innovation at commercial scale. So most of the MSMEs will definitely be benefit out of it, and it will be done through a financing pool of 1 lakh crore rupees. Space economy, Dheeraj sir, you were referring to, definitely I would also like to touch upon that. Government has the plan to expand the space economy by 5 times in the next 10 years, and a venture capital fund of rupees 1,000 crore will be set up for this thing. I feel this is a good space for many startups. You should come forward and should try in this space economy, because 1,000 crore rupees venture capital is going to support you. A very important announcement, which many of you may think that not related to MSME, is related to the land related announcement in this budget. So what happens, agri and MSME are, bhai bahni hai wo dono. So this land reforms have been taken in a very big way in this budget, wherein they are saying that we'll do the digitization of the maps, we'll do the survey of maps, subdivision as per the ownership, establishment of land registry, linking of the farmers registry. These actions will definitely facilitate credit flow and other agriculture services. So these, to me, I could just go through the budget, and I feel that these are the direct, indirect benefit to the MSME sector. Some other important thing which I could feel from this budget, that they are towards the ease of doing business. And the government is working towards the Jan Vishwas Bill 2.0, wherein the states will be incentivized for implementation of their business reforms. So they will be asked to do some business reforms for ease of doing business, digitalization of their activities. Very, very important thing, बहुत छोटा सा लिखा है budget में कहीं, but very, very important. The delayed payment problem is a big problem to these MSMEs. In the last budget, the finance minister has announced section 43BH, which is playing very important role. When we were there to discuss the pre-budget consultation with the Honorable Finance Minister, she was very, very concerned about this 43BH, and she categorically asked for me that, you tell me. I tried to do, and we also suggested these things earlier. So she was very much concerned about this thing, that, MSMEs were concerned about the timely payment. And when we introduced this 43BH, a lot of people are criticizing. So I told her that madam, जो नेगेटिव चीजें होती हैं वो ज्यादा जल्दी फैलती हैं. We need not to be worried about these things, and this is a great announcement, 43BH, and it should remain as it is, and you should not withdraw this. In this respect, the government has announced very important thing that they will revamp Shram Suvidha and Samadhan portal. Samadhan portal is being run by Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises and is playing very, very important role in timely payment of the dues of micro and small enterprises. And there is great need of revamping of Samadhan portal. We have given many suggestions as regards the Samadhan portal, including, online order, online cause list, and so on and so forth. So government has perhaps accepted our suggestion, and it has been told that they will revamp this Samadhan portal. In the ease of doing, they have told that we'll do some reforms in insolvency and bankruptcy code, national company law tribunal, and will do something towards the voluntary closure of limited liability partnership if it is not able to run. Debt recovery tribunals reform and strengthening will also, I suppose, help in ease of doing business. Additional tribunals will be established. As regards stamp duty, because the MSME also, purchase land, building for their industrial property and so on and so forth, maybe for their residential purpose, also for the commercial purposes. So the finance minister has informed that they will encourage those states which are charging the high stamp duty to moderate it. And they will definitely, I suppose, request the states that if you can consider further lowering of the duties, and more so, particularly for the women. On the FDI also, this budget also mentioned that the rules and regulation for FDI and overseas investment will be simplified. So these, I could find that these are some of the provisions where ease of doing has been considered by the Honorable Finance Minister. Some 2-3 another important announcement as regards to employment generation, I would also like to discuss. So government has told, the finance minister has told that they will implement 3 schemes for employment link incentive. And these will be based on the enrollment in the EPFO, and the focus will be on recognition of first-time employees, because unemployment has been a subject matter which is discussed a lot. So they want that those who don't have the job as present as first-time employee, they should get some incentive. So you might have seen that there is a scheme of first-timer wherein the finance minister has told that we'll give 1 month wage to all persons who will enter in the workforce in the formal sector. It will be a direct benefit transfer of 1 month salary. It will be given in 3 installments for the first-time employees being registered in the EPFO. The amount will be up to 15,000 rupees, and it will benefit about 2.1 crore youth. Another scheme for this employment generation is job creation in manufacturing, wherein another 30 lakhs youth are supposed to be benefited. The third scheme is a support to the employers. The employer-focused scheme will cover additional employment definitely in all the sectors, and additional employment with a salary of up to 1 lakh rupees per month will be counted. Government will reimburse to employers up to rupees 3,000 per month for 2 years towards their EPFO contribution for each of the additional employee they have employed. It will definitely, again, government plan that and hope so that it will benefit another employment of 50 lakh persons. Then women is also one of the center area for the government, and for the participation of women in the workforce, government is planning to create working women hostels in collaboration with industry, and the establishing creches will also be there. skilling program will also be there in collaboration with the state government and the industry. 20 lakh youth will be skilled over a 5-year period. Then skilling loan will also be given to the youth up to 7.5 lakh rupees, and it will be guaranteed by the government promoted fund. Another important thing is the education loan. It has been announced that financial support for loans up to 10 lakh rupees for higher education in domestic institution, because government perhaps want that, domestic institutions should be promoted. And e-vouchers for this purpose will be given directly to 1 lakh students every year. And in this loan, annual interest subvention of 3% of the loan amount will also be provided by the government. So, sir, from my side, these are the announcement which I find that I should discuss, maybe related to MSMEs and startup. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Gupta ji. I have listened very carefully to you and noted some of the main points, and there are also some questions from the viewer. First, we will take the questions.
Yeah, please.
One of the viewer want to know that any increase proposed for the CGTMSE scheme beyond 5 crore in budget 2024.
Answer is no.
Answer is
But there is one scheme which has already been announced, which is the credit guarantee scheme for startup, wherein loan up to 10 crore rupees is available to the startup without any collateral security under the guarantee fund, but not announced in this scheme, this budget.
And another participant want to know that credit guarantee scheme for SME for service sector funding based on receivable is there.
Yes. So
Is
this
there
CDTMSC is available currently to the manufacturing, to service sector, and even to the traders also.
And someone is writing 100 crore, which you have told for a manufacturing sector CGTMS scheme. They are saying that it seems to be a typographical mistake.
No, it's not a typographical mistake. She has told also, and it is not a CDTMSC. So it is not, it has been very clearly spelled out by, and this big mistake cannot be a typographical mistake. When the budget is presented, it is read by not less than, maybe 50, 100 people will definitely be. So there doesn't seem to be any type of error. And it is not under CGTMSC. They are saying that the scheme will operate on the pooling of credit risk by such MSME. So all the MSMEs will pool this risk. Perhaps this is the agenda.
And one another question, is there any change in investment and turnover criteria to decide MSME status in keeping with the economic growth witnessed now, as I believe that threshold limits need to be reviewed?
No, I suppose the suggestion is good. We have also suggested this thing. We have not told that, you increase the maximum outer limit of 50 crore of investment and 250 crore of turnover. But what we told that, there is a big gap in the turnover of small and medium enterprise, 50 crore and 250 crore. So normally what happens when any company or any enterprise reaches or touches the turnover of 50 crore, they shy in growth. In fact, they feel that if we'll go to 51 crore or 50 crore, 1 lakh, we'll lose the all the benefits of micro and small enterprises. So that suggestion was given by us also, but there is no change as far as the definition of MSME, which was last done in 2022, wherein the investment and turnover, they both were clubbed. So there is no change.
Another question with regard to the extension of this Mudra loan limit. They want to know that whether the extended Mudra loan limit of rupees 20 lakhs from 10 lakhs without collateral be inclusive of working capital funding also.
Yes. So this Mudra loan is normally, the government tells that, normally it should be without any collateral security, and it can be in the form of term loan, working capital, anything.
And one thing many of the viewers want to know that they are asking, Finance Minister has proposed with regard to amendment in section 43B clause H. What is the current status of 43BH for the Income Tax Act for the assessment date 24-25?
Kindly, can you reread the first part? The
हाँ.
finance minister?
They are saying that the finance minister has promised.
No. So यहीं रुक जाइए. It was never promised. If you can show me any of her statement wherein she has saying that we will drop it, there was no such promise. And friends, it's a fantastic provision. We all should, encourage it. We should educate our MSMEs that this is for their benefit only. And one more important thing. See, this is not a new amendment. What happens, this act, which is Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Development Act 2006, it was announced, it was introduced on 2nd of October 2006, wherein if you read section 15 to some section 24, 25 of this act, there are solution of the delayed payment. And under this act, it has been provided that any payment to micro and small enterprises has to be made within 45 days. So these provisions are already there. There are certain other, nitty-gritty of this thing. So 45 days, or it can be even lesser than 45 days, right? Based on if there is any agreement or non-agreement. So we can discuss this at length at some other occasion. But that was the provision in the Act since 2006. What Finance Minister has done in the last budget, they have tried to get it implemented because this provision was there, but it was actually not implemented properly. So the view of the Finance Minister, as per the personal discussion I had with her and the entire team of the Ministry of Finance, so what they told that we have not introduced any new provisions. What we have done, we have tried to make sure that the provision of the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises through MSME Act is properly implemented. So we also, I am also, अगर आप दोष देना चाहें मुझे भी दे सकते हैं, तो I also told that please don't withdraw this provision.
Sir, I am a regular speaker on that section 43BH. I have also a very elaborated commentary, written a book on 43BH. And I want to add something here. I am of the same view as you have. I didn't want this provision is to withdraw. This provision is introduced to stay here for the betterment of the MSME, for the promotion of the MSME. It can never be withdrawn. But only problem is in its implementation. We have to guide our MSME or our consultant to how to implement it. So once it is implemented, then I think there is no problem in the coming year. The problem is in first year because we are getting some extra tax burden. In next year, when will you payment? You will get the rebate of the same, this deduction of the same. So I think that the problem is in first year itself, and this amendment is remain to stay. There is no amendment with regard to that. 24-25 में भी लगेगा, इस साल की रिटर्न्स में ये लगना है, इसमें कोई बदलाव नहीं किया गया और ना ही कोई बदलाव की संभावना है.
Manoj ji, I would also like to add one more thing. Rather than requesting for withdrawal of this provision, we the chartered accountants, I suppose, should advise our MSME clients. Everybody should have Udyam registration. We are suggesting to the government, to the Ministry of MSME also, that this Udyam registration should be made mandatory. Abhi level playing field nahi hai. So what is happening, suppose I don't have the Udyam registration, I may get order from the large company on the assurance कि भैया कर देना आप मुझे 60 दिन में पेमेंट कर देना, कोई बात नहीं यार, आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. But when all the MSMEs will get this Udyam registration mandatorily, along with their GST registration, along with their businesses PAN registration, along with their company incorporation, OPC registration, LLP registration, like we get GST, bank account, and many other free gifts with the incorporation of the company. When everybody will have this Udyam registration, then there will be no problem at all. फिर वो फाइनेंशियल डिसिप्लिन अपने आप आ जाएगा कि भैया मेरे से नहीं कराओगे, आप मनोज जी के पास जाओगे ना, अच्छा उनसे कराने, उनका भी 45 डेज में देना पड़ेगा बिकॉज ही आल्सो हैज द उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन.
नहीं, मेरा यहाँ पे आपसे मैं बिल्कुल एग्री हूँ. मेरा ये मानना है कि इसे जैसे आपने कहा कि एज ए फ्री गिफ्ट देना चाहिए इनकॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ कंपनीज के हाथ, सेम वे में हमें क्या करना चाहिए, हर कंपनी जो जीएसटी रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए आती है, कंपनी नहीं है, प्रोप्राइटरशिप है या पार्टनरशिप है, तो साथ ही उद्यम उसे अलॉट करते हैं.
हाँ, वही मैंने बोला सर।
हाँ, जिसकी टर्नओवर 250 करोड़ से कम है, वो एमएसएमई रजिस्टर्ड ही है। रजिस्टर्ड क्यों कह रहे हैं हम, उसे एमएसएमई का दर्जा दे दिया जाए।
सर शुरू में तो जो भी कंपनी लेगी ना, देखो जो पैन लेगी, कोई कंपनी पार्टनरशिप फर्म है, अपना पैन अप्लाई करे, दे दो उसको, जीएसटी नहीं भी है तो जीएसटी में अप्लाई करे, तब तो उसकी टर्नओवर मतलब 20 लाख 40 लाख से कम ही होगी ना। सो दे विल बी गिवन द उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन।
सर मेरा यहाँ पे थोड़ा ये कहना है कि हमें उद्यम की जरूरत क्यों है, हम जीएसटी सर्टिफिकेट में ही लिखते ना ये माइक्रो स्मॉल यूनिट है।
जीएसटी सबका नहीं होता ना सर। देखो देखो क्या प्रॉब्लम क्या है, जीएसटी सबका नहीं होता। अगर किसी की 5 लाख टर्नओवर है तो इट विल नॉट बी ए जीएसटी रजिस्टर्ड।
क्योंकि लेस देन 250 करोड़ है ना सर, जिसकी कम है वो है ही है माइक्रो स्मॉल में।
पर वो मैं कह रहा हूँ कि वो खाली जीएसटी पे लिखने से तो सबका नहीं होगा ना रजिस्ट्रेशन। ठीक है सर, we
चलिए,
can-
हाँ आगे बढ़ते हैं। एक क्वेश्चन और है, आई वुड लाइक टू सजेस्ट दैट गवर्नमेंट में कनेक्ट ऑल रजिस्टर्ड एमएसएमईज विद जेम पोर्टल and all the SMEs get connected with government companies for their trade expansion. We may take up this issue with the concerned ministry. I think they are giving the suggestion.
So
Not
no,
asking any question.
I'll explain this thing. So what happens in fact in current scenario, whenever anybody gets any udyam registration, they ask this thing कि आपको अपना जैम पे भी रजिस्ट्रेशन करना है कि नहीं, आप अपना ट्रेड पे भी रजिस्ट्रेशन करना चाहते हैं, तो यू हैव टू क्लिक यस और नो। And for the jam, so you have to show your intention that you want to register on trade and a jam. And then for the jam registration, you have to provide various information. There is one portal which is a single window portal being introduced by the government. It is NSWS. The name of the portal is single window portal is wherein if you submit a document once on this portal, you can get all registration with those documents. You need not to submit documents again and again to various departments.
And another question, Mr. Venkat from Hyderabad want to ask, anything specially for healthcare or life sciences MSME organization?
I don't feel there is any special scheme for this particular sector. Maybe I don't have.
And one participant from Kolkata, Mr. Prabir, want to ask whether any reclassification in NPA norms for MSME.
No, this was a demand, but it has not been accepted. The NPA norm is same 90 days. And only change has been that now finance will be available to SMA accounts also under the guarantee scheme.
And Tarun Sharma ji from Gurgaon want to ask how MSME can take loan for greenfield project. Face lot of difficulty from banks through CGTMS mode.
ये बड़ा टिपिकल क्वेश्चन है। तो देखो बैंक का मैं आपको एक ही तरीका बताता हूँ। मैं आई हैड बीन ऑन द बोर्ड ऑफ ए बैंक आल्सो। बैंक्स में बस आपको सो लोग पूछते हैं किस तरह के प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं, बैंक करते हैं, क्या करते हैं। आई हैव ओनली वन आंसर, यू नीड टू satisfy to the banker that your project is a viable project. You will be able to repay the loan with interest and you will earn something for yourself also. There may be difficulties, but ऐसा नहीं है। होता है बहुत ग्रीनफील्ड प्रोजेक्ट में, और खास तौर से कुछ प्रोजेक्ट तो ऐसे हैं जो केवल कुछ स्कीम्स ऐसी हैं जो ग्रीनफील्ड को ही मिल सकती हैं। लाइक जैसे पीएमईजीपी करके एक स्कीम है वेयर इन सब्सिडीज आर आल्सो अवेलेबल। वो अगर आप एग्जिस्टिंग बिजनेस कर रहे हैं तो मिलता ही नहीं है। लाइक इसी तरह से वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर को स्टैंड अप इंडिया स्कीम है, उसमें मिलता है नए एंटरप्रेन्योर ग्रीनफील्ड प्रोजेक्ट को मिलता है, केवल एग्जिस्टिंग को मिलता ही नहीं है। सो देयर आर स्कीम्स एंड CDTMSC आल्सो इज फॉर न्यू एज वेल एज एग्जिस्टिंग enterprises.
And Rasik Goyal from Gurgaon want to know that overdue payment from government still remains to be a problem, though there is a bill discounting introduced through trades and section 43BH has been introduced.
गवर्नमेंट पे एप्लीकेबल नहीं होता ना 43BH। उनको इनकम, उनको अपना रिटर्न तो फाइल नहीं करनी है। गवर्नमेंट को PSUs को तो करनी है, बट गवर्नमेंट को तो करनी नहीं है, तो 43BH का गवर्नमेंट पे फर्क नहीं पड़ता। यस, बट दिस प्रॉब्लम इज देयर। मिनिस्ट्री इज आल्सो वेल अवेयर ऑफ दिस प्रॉब्लम। देयर हैज बीन ए रिसेंट रिपोर्ट, थोड़ा पुरानी हो गया, वेयर इन इट हैज बीन टोल्ड दैट मोर देन 10 lakh crore rupees is stuck up in government and private large companies or the other MSMEs. but this is a fact. मतलब I agree with the statement that there is a problem.
And Rajat Doshi from Mumbai want to ask, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं सर आज आपके लिए.
पूछिए सर.
Request for Mukesh sir to please highlight the government. There are many loopholes or ways wherein there are clarification required needed to section 43B clauses. People are taking advantage of these loopholes to out of the purview of section 43B clauses. Please highlight on this, sir.
नहीं तो 43 BH पे we can discuss at length in fact. क्या confusion है if you can just again.
जैसे लोग कह रहे हैं कि हम लोगों से लेंगे ही नहीं जो उद्यम रजिस्टर्ड है, उनको कह रहे हैं उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन कैंसिल कर दीजिए.
वो हमने पहले ही डिस्कस कर लिया. तो वी आर डिस्कसिंग, वी आर इन टॉक विद द गवर्नमेंट एंड वी आर ट्राइंग टू कन्विंस द गवर्नमेंट कि आप उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन को मैंडेटरी कर दो. ऑल MSME जैसे आधार कार्ड इंडिविजुअल के लिए मैंडेटरी है, तो हम तो ये गवर्नमेंट से कह रहे हैं कि आप आधार कार्ड की तरह इनका एक उद्यम का भी एक ड्राइव चलाओ एंड एवरीबडी शुड हैव द उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन सो दैट देयर इज नो कंफ्यूजन. लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड सबके साथ एक सा होना चाहिए.
विनोद गर्ग जी दिल्ली से कह रहे हैं सर, जो फ्री गिफ्ट्स की आपने बात की, उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन के फ्री गिफ्ट की, कई बार ये ट्रबल पैदा करते हैं. जैसे कि PF और ESI में आप देख रहे हैं कि नोटिस आ रहे हैं MCS से कि आपने रिटर्न्स नहीं भरी और कंप्लायंसेस नहीं किए.
तो ठीक है, कंप्लायंस के लिए तो ठीक है सर. वी नीड टू बी,
वो PF नंबर ऑटोमेटिकली अलॉट हो जाता है MCA रजिस्ट्रेशन में, और वो उनको नोटिस आ रहे हैं जबकि उनके कोई एम्प्लॉइज ही नहीं है, कंपनी काम ही नहीं कर रही है.
वो अच्छा, आई वाज नॉट अवेयर ऑफ दिस थिंग. विल डेफिनेटली. तो माय रिक्वेस्ट सर, जो सजेशंस है ना उनका एक अगर हम बना लें विच मे बी डिस्कस विद द गवर्नमेंट आल्सो, तो हम धीरज सर के साथ और राज जी के साथ एक पूरा एक वो बना लेंगे कि व्हाट आर द सजेशंस एंड उसके बाद वी कैन सबमिट टू द गवर्नमेंट. मे बी इट्स ए गुड सजेशन. मुझे भी लगता तो था ये कि अभी शुरुआत तो हुई नहीं, कंपनी अभी से दे रहे हैं ये हमें ये गिफ्ट, तो हम इस गिफ्ट का करेंगे क्या, ये हमारी जान को मुसीबत ना बन जाए.
गुड. विवेक जैन जी फ्रॉम रायपुर want to know that does hospital gets MSME registration and whether any capital subsidy available to the hospitals.
तो नॉर्मली द सब्सिडीज आर स्टेट मैटर. सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की अभी कोई बहुत ज्यादा सब्सिडी ऐसी है नहीं. एक ही सब्सिडी जो मैं समझ रहा हूँ, पहले क्रेडिट लिंक कैपिटल सब्सिडी स्कीम थी, वो अभी है नहीं. वो खास तौर से एक सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी के लिए एक सब्सिडी अनाउंस की है. तो मैं, आप इसको अगर मेरा एडवर्टीजमेंट ना समझे तो ये आप एक MSME हेल्पलाइन यूट्यूब चैनल पर जाकर देख सकते हैं. हमने ये जो 2 स्कीम्स हैं वो हमने अभी पोस्ट की थी अपने यूट्यूब चैनल पर थोड़े दिन पहले ही. वहाँ पर ये जो सब्सिडी एक है उसको बताया. इसके अलावा जैसे मैंने आपसे कहा कि PMEGP में सब्सिडी हैं, फूड प्रोसेसिंग में कुछ सब्सिडीज हैं. इसके अलावा जो सब्सिडीज होती हैं वो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की हैं, तो आपको अपने जो भी स्टेट है वहां पर पता करना पड़ेगा.
Sir, one thing I want to touch little bit more, which you have told in your deliberation about the Sharm Suvda and Samadhan portal to be revamped. I want that ki hum put some more light on that. What kind of revamping you want in Samadhan portal, in your suggestion?
ठीक है. सो मैं बताता हूँ, हम समाधान पे हम लोग काफी काम कर रहे हैं and we have created a very special portal in the name of nodefaulters.com करके. and this is very close to my heart, this delayed payment. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर MSME को टाइम से पेमेंट मिल जाए, they are not supposed to go to the bankers also. अपने पैसा है वो फंसा पड़ा है दूसरी जगह, and when this money is stuck up, in fact the bankers also reduce the DP if the outstanding is more than 90 days. वो कहते हैं भाई डेटा हम 90 days तक के लेंगे, तो हम डबल मार पड़ती है. So what we are suggesting to the government as regards this Samadhan portal, 4-5 things. I'll mention you point by point. Number 1, this Samadhan portal gives opportunity to submit very brief information, right? Just the buyer's name, some invoices. So we need to upload 2-3 things. One is the buyer's detail, then the purchase orders, and the invoices. These 3 information are to be submitted in the Samadhan portal if any complaint is to be made for delayed payment against any enterprise. The regions, content, everything, nothing is there. there are no rules under this MSMED Act 2006. There are some draft rules only, which the Ministry of MSME has forwarded to all the states, and all the states have created their own rules. So कहीं पर क्या होता है, कहीं पर वो कहते हैं कि हमें ऑनलाइन आपने सबमिट कर दिया, then we don't need any additional information. Another states is वो कहती है कि नहीं, after you submit on this समाधान portal, you give us a complete petition. And some states have identified some forms also, Form A, Form 1, like these type of forms have been created by them. So yeah, different states are adopting different method. Then some states are charging some fees also for this thing. Some states are not charging any fees. I am also part of one of the MSCFC as a member. And मैं आपको अगर बताऊं, वहां पर बहुत ही मजेदार किस्सा, व्हेन आई जॉइंड द फर्स्ट मीटिंग इन फैक्ट, तो एक केस आया जहां पर उन्होंने कहा जी आपने अभी तक वो स्टैम्प ड्यूटी जमा नहीं कराई 1.5 लाख रुपए की। तो मैंने बोला होल्ड ऑन, ये क्या 1.5 लाख रुपए? उसने कहा सर मैंने तो जमा कर दी। मैंने बोला 1.5 लाख रुपए आपने किस चीज के लिए लिए इनसे? कि सर वो स्टैम्प ड्यूटी ऑन द एफिडेविट। तो मैंने पूछा कि भाई ये कौन सी स्टैम्प ड्यूटी आप ले रहे हो? तो उन्होंने कहा सर वो हमारे रूल्स रेगुलेशन में है। आई टोल्ड देम दैट यू ब्रिंग द रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस ऑफ योर स्टेट। तो वो लेकर आए, उसमें लिखा था इट हैज टू बी सपोर्ट, द डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैव टू बी सपोर्टेड विद एन एफिडेविट विद स्टैम्प ड्यूटी। मैंने बोला ये तो 10 रुपए की स्टैम्प ड्यूटी की बात है, ये 100 रुपए की स्टैम्प ड्यूटी ले लो आप, एफिडेविट का स्टैम्प ड्यूटी की। कि सर हमने तो सोचा वो रिकवरी। हमने बोला इट्स नॉट ए रिकवरी कोड, इट इज फॉर द कॉन्सिलिएशन, राइट? कॉन्सिलिएशन नहीं करेंगे तो इट विल गो टू द आर्बिट्रेशन। अभी आर्बिट्रेशन के लिए आपको पता होगा बहुत ही भयंकर एक रेगुलेशन आया है। वेरी सून, मे बी इन अनदर 2 days आई विल पोस्ट इट ऑन माय यूट्यूब चैनल एंड वी कैन हैव देन डिस्कशन ऑन दिस। जो रेगुलेशन आए हैं इंडिया इंटरनेशनल आर्बिट्रेशन का, एक फास्ट ट्रैक आर्बिट्रेशन का, उसके ऊपर भी हम अगर धीरज सर कहेंगे तो एक और हम एक ऐसे मीटिंग रख सकते हैं। तो हमने एक तो ये कहा है सरकार से, टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन, कि समाधान का जो स्कोप आप थोड़ा बढ़ाओ उसमें, और अगर आपको चाहिए कोई पिटीशन फाइल करना है तो उसकी कोई फॉर्म अगर है तो वो होना चाहिए। अदर पार्टी को इंफॉर्मेशन जाती नहीं है। व्हाट वी हैव सीन इन वन ऑफ द केस इन फैक्ट, कि उसका उद्यम भी नहीं मिलता, नंबर दे देता है, वो पता चलता है कोई उद्यम हो सकता है ट्रेडिंग का हो, या हो सकता है उद्यम उसका मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस का हो। वहां पर भी इतने लोग समझते नहीं है, वो भी बेचारे, उनकी भी मजबूरी है। जो डीएम होते हैं वो लोग अपने एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव कंट्रोल में लगे रहते हैं, तो दिस इज नॉट देयर प्राइम एरिया, उनके लिए अलग से स्टाफ होता नहीं है इनके पास। सो वी हैव सजेस्टेड दैट एक तो समाधान में पूरी डिटेल आनी चाहिए। दूसरा हमने उनको कहा कि आप इसमें एक कॉमन रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन बनाओ इस एक्ट के। थर्ड इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग व्हाट वी टोल्ड इनफैक्ट, कि आप जितने भी ऑर्डर्स हैं उनको सर्चेबल मोड पर इसको एक कॉमन प्लेटफॉर्म पे अपलोड करो। उससे क्या होगा, जैसे अभी हम एनसीएलटी, हाई कोर्ट, सुप्रीम कोर्ट, इन जगह पे जाके किसी भी कंपनी के बारे में देख सकते हैं। वहां पर हमने कहा कि ये तो एक ड्यू डिलिजेंस का काम कर सकता है। सपोज आई गॉट एन ऑर्डर फ्रॉम एबीसी एंड कंपनी, तो मैं पहले इस पे डाल के देख लूं भाई, यहाँ पे समाधान पे ऑर्डर्स में जाके, कि एबीसी एंड कंपनी के अगेंस्ट कितने काम अभी केसेस चल रहे हैं, और वहां आ जाएगी 20 लोगों का, तो ये पहली कंप्लेंट इसके पास इनके अगेंस्ट है। तो आई विल बी लिटिल बिट कॉशियस कि भैया आई नीड टू डील विद दिस कंपनी और नॉट। तो एक हमने कहा इसका सर्चेबल मोड में ऑर्डर्स होने चाहिए। अनदर सजेशन वी गेव फॉर दिस समाधान पोर्टल, कि इसमें क्या होता है कि जैसे आज कोई डेट हुई, अगली डेट कोई देते नहीं है, कहते हैं कि ठीक है अब हम आपको बता देंगे नेक्स्ट डेट पे, राइट? तो हमने सजेशन दिया कि भाई देयर शुड बी ए कॉजलेस सिस्टम आल्सो। एक फिक्स कर दो, आप हर हफ्ते करो, हर महीने करो, जो आपका जिस एमएससीएफसी का जो सिस्टम हो, यू फिक्स अप एंड एटलीस्ट गिव द नेक्स्ट डेट, कॉज लिस्ट होनी चाहिए। सो दीज आर सम ऑफ द सजेशंस बीइंग गिवन बाय अस टू द गवर्नमेंट।
And sir, what do you think, what proposal we can give with regard to this Jan Vishwas bill?
सर इसमें तो ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस के लिए जैसे बहुत सारी, जैसे अभी आपने पॉइंट एक आप हमारे एक इंटेलिजेंट व्यूअर ने अभी हमें बताया कि भाई आरओसी के साथ वो जो ये जो गिफ्ट मिल रहे हैं हमें, ईपीएफ और ये सब कुछ का, ये आगे प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट कर रहे हैं। तो जन विश्वास बिल में तो वी कैन सजेस्ट एज मेनी सजेशंस टू द गवर्नमेंट एज पॉसिबल। जो भी मैं चाहता हूँ जितने भी यहाँ पर व्यूअर्स हैं, जो भी और भी जो हमारे जो प्रोफेशनल्स हैं, वो बताएं कि कहाँ कहाँ उनको किस किस चीज़ में दिक्कत आ रही है उनको, अपने लिए, अपने क्लाइंट्स के लिए। और वो सभी सजेशन हमें देने चाहिए, पर्टिकुलरली फॉर द ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस। in any of that.
इसमें हर समाधान पोर्टल में हम एक और सुजेशन हमें ये देना चाहिए, जो फीस की आपने बात की कि कहीं है कहीं नहीं है, कुछ ज्यादा ले रहे हैं कुछ कम ले रहे हैं, तो एक यूनिफॉर्म फीस हम कर दें अगर रखनी है, नहीं तो फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट करें।
वही सजेशन वही है ना सर हमारा, वही मैं कह रहा हूँ कि यूनिफॉर्मिटी लाओ ना, लेनी है तो सब ले, नहीं लेनी है तो कोई भी मतलब, तो कॉमन रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन अगर बन जाएंगे तो ये सब चीजें क्लियर हो
तो
जाएगी।
एक दिक्कत मैं और फेस कर रहा हूँ समाधान पोर्टल पे ही, कि जब हम जाते हैं समाधान पोर्टल, उसके बाद वो फिजिकल पेपर जैसे भी आपने कहा कॉल करते हैं, फाइल कॉल करते हैं, तो वो पेपर की तरह पूरी इनकम टैक्स ऑफिसर की तरह स्क्रूटनी करते हैं। वो लेते ही नहीं, बार बार डिनाई करेंगे क्लाइंट को, 2 बार 3 बार 4 बार उसके पेपर वापस भेजेंगे, हर इसमें ये नहीं है इसमें ये नहीं है। तो वहां पे भी एक
और
स्टैंडर्ड सेट ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट्स होने चाहिए।
आप कहाँ बेस्ड हैं?
मैं हूँ चंडीगढ़।
कोई पर्टिकुलर केस होगा, कोई पर्टिकुलर एमएससी होगी, बताइए सर उसको क्या है। हम तो सीधे चीफ मिनिस्टर को लेटर लिखते हैं सर, ऐसा कुछ भी होता है ना। बट आई डू इनफैक्ट, कोई भी ऐसा आता है, आई राइट लेटर डायरेक्टली टू द चीफ मिनिस्टर कि भैया ये आपके यहाँ पर ये विद द कॉपी टू द डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट ऑफ दैट एरिया, बट किसी पर्टिकुलर जगह पे होगी
मेरा
नॉर्मली।
suggestion ये है कि सर जैसे ही समाधान पोर्टल रीरैम्प हो रहा है, तो हम उसमें एक ग्रीवेंस का भी टैब बना दें, जिसमें हमें हमारा अगर केस हियरिंग के लिए फिक्स नहीं हो रहा है या लेट हो रहा है या हमें परेशान दिया जा रहा है, तो हम वहां पे ऑनलाइन ग्रीवेंस डाल सकें और उसका एक टाइम पीरियड फिक्स हो कि इतने में मेरे को
वो
रेजोल्यूशन।
सर है, मैं आपको एक पोर्टल बताता हूँ, चैंपियन पोर्टल है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एमएसएमई का, वो ग्रीवेंसीज के लिए ही है।
चैंपियन सर।
चैंपियन।
लेकिन समाधान के लिए हम इसमें कर सकते हैं, समाधान
Yes,
से रिलेटेड जो
yes, yes,
प्रॉब्लम है वही उठा।
yes, anything, yes.
So I think, sir, I have taken all the queries and we have discussed all the amendments or new proposals by the finance minister in the Union Budget 2024 in detail. So thank you so much, sir, for sparing your valuable time for ICAI, and always you are here to help the MSME. मेरे को लगता है कि MSME में सबसे पैशनेट इंसान अगर है तो आप हैं, क्योंकि मैं आपके सारे वीडियो सुनता हूँ और बड़े ध्यान से सुनता हूँ। बहुत ही अच्छा काम आप कर रहे हैं, मेरी तरफ से हर कॉम्प्लीमेंट विद दिस। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you very much. Thank you, Manoj ji.
I now I request to team ICI to wind up the proceedings. Team ICI, please wind up the proceedings. Sir, you can leave. I think though nobody is there.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Manoj ji. Thank you, Dheeraj ji. Thank you, Raj ji. Thank you very much. And thank you all the viewers. Thank you very much.